Hello, friends. Haven't done this in a very long time. I haven't tried these headphones on before. We'll see how they go. Excellent. All right. Hi, my name's Mark Randall. I'm a developer advocate at Google Cloud, and I do stuff. I do open source tools for backends for multiplayer games. Today we're gonna play with a little project called Quilkin. If you're not familiar with Quilkin, actually let me pull that up. That'd be something fun. Let's do that. Quilkin's a lovely little project. It's got a cute little mascot here, made primarily it's a hedgehog. It is a proxy for UDP for games. UDP for games is fun and complicated and stuff, and so we're doing some fun stuff with that around being able to rate limit things and compress your data and just get metrics around it and all that kind of other fun stuff. If you have any questions about the project, even just in general or anything that I'm doing, throw those in chat for sure. Always curious to hear what people have to say. But I've been doing some development on this. I just did a bunch of work. If you care at all, here, I'll pull up the actual ticket. All right, 410. Wherein the way we've got this has all this set up. There's all this data was coming in through these individual sockets, and the way sockets usually work is they tie to an individual port. But you can do this fancy thing called SO reuse port and also SO reuse address, where you can bind multiple sockets to the same port, which is fun and interesting. But in doing so, you end up being able to basically distribute all the packets that are going across all the different sockets, and it works like a really nice little load balancer without having to do a lot of that work yourself, or build out like a multi-threaded distributed thing which has bottlenecks and no fun at all. Anyway, so I've actually done a lot of that work. Had a whole bunch of fun trying to have some fun on that, and had all kinds of issues, but managed to resolve pretty much all of them, except for this one right here, which I haven't worked out what I've got. So we've got this this rate limiter filter that does exactly what you think, right? Like how many times can something go through for a particular packet. But I think it's my only test that doesn't pass. So it is a integration test. So we can actually, let's, oh, that's a good size too. So I can cargo test lib, which is like all my unit tests. And that generally tends to run pretty well. I haven't run into any issues with that. I had all kinds of other flakiness stuff that I was resolving, but let's just confirm everything's working there the way I expect it to while we're sitting there, and that's compiling away. Beautiful. Okay, so that all seems pretty good, right? Like I've run that a bunch of times. That's all fine. It's just the integration tests I seem to be having some fun with. So let's review what the integration test is doing. Excuse me. Let's review what the integration test is doing. Maybe I can see something stupid, something that I haven't realized, and then maybe we can work out what it is that's going on. Okay? Yeah, that's my theory. All right, so this pretty pink command here actually just turns on logging. I think I need to give that something a little bit better. You can see it turns on tracing subscriber. Using tracing as a library for logging. It's super nice. Okay, we have a test helper that we'll see some bits of here, which allows us to create like little packet echoing systems and stuff like that. Just making sure everything looks good. Yeah, we're recording. Beautiful. Lovely. Everything's looking lovely. I haven't actually done any streaming on this machine yet before, so this is fun. Okay, so we have some config where a little bit of YAML for our configuration for the load balancer. Sorry, the load balancer, the local rate limiter. Words are fun. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're saying we're maximum number 2 packets per 1 second. I believe that's correct. Everything is tiny. Can I make it bigger? Of course. I thought it looked big for me, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. Bear with me 1 sec. Let's make this like 12. How's that? Is that a bit better? Some of the text I can't change, but some of it should be a bit better. Let me know if that needs to get bigger or not. I would love that if you would let me know. Yeah, IntelliJ, I like things small, but IntelliJ sizing on some of this stuff is not the easiest. Okay, so yes, please, absolutely, definitely let me know if you want that to be bigger or anything like that. I appreciate your input. Excellent. Okay, so um, setting some logging up. We've got some config map packets too. Actually, we'll have a double check real quick. Make sure that's doing what I expect it's doing. So load balancer, pop into our config. Yada yada yada. Where's our model for this? Whee! So much fun. No, that's a load balancer. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I want the local rate limit. Beautiful. Local rate limit. Config file. Here we go. Max packets is maximum number of packets are allowed for a rate limit in a given duration. Duration in seconds. Okay, so in theory, this is correct. Can we not zoom control plus plus? That is not a thing that this is IntelliJ. You want me to make it bigger? I can make it bigger. I can make the font larger in the editor. That is, yeah, not in IntelliJ. Yeah, let me know if that's still too small. I was playing with sizes before. I can even go a little bigger. Let's go a little bigger. Let's do it. Let's go 14. Nice and large. That's probably a lot better. Excellent. Let's do that. Okay. So brain. Okay, so we are setting up a little echo server. So this is just a packet with it's basically a little thing that accepts a UDP packet and sends the same thing straight back again. And it's fancy because we can apply a tap function, which is basically like intercepts the data as it comes through. Excuse me, and we're just logging. We're logging that we actually received that packet with the sender information, local address, etc., etc. So that's not very exciting, but okay. We can see we're running an echo server. Beautiful. We're gonna get a available address for Quilkin as a server. Lovely, nothing special there. Set up a server config, so we're going to specify it on that server address. So this just gets an ephemeral port that we can run this on. We are going to set up a local rate limiter with a config specified here. So 2 packets every 1 second. Seems fine so far. We are going to set up an endpoint. The endpoint's where it's going to go to. So that's going to go to our echo server, which is here. We build it and we run the server with the config. Okay, so far seems pretty reasonable. Then we have another little helper function here, open socket and receive multiple packets. Okay, so basically what that does is it opens up a UDP socket that we can do stuff with, and it gives us this a channel. Basically, it's like a queue that whenever a packet comes in, it should go into there. So cool. Now, here's an interesting question. When we set up the channel, was it always a watch channel? I know I did some changes recently, so maybe that might actually be a thing. I'll come back to that. There's different types of. They use a library called Tokio for all our async stuff, and there's some channel stuff in there. Maybe there's something in it. Anyway, let's see what's going on. Okay, so we pass back out a receive channel. We send 3 times. We send hello to the system. And what we should see is because we have this rate limiting, we should get 2 of them, but not 3. Right? So we say timeout, receive channel changed. Now what I might do, I think this is what fails, but maybe preemptive. It could fail, so we do this, we go around this 2 times. if this here fails on the second run through, I actually have no idea which run through it fails on. Make it right here. Do we need to know which run through is failing? That's actually a really good point. That might actually lead us to what is happening here. Then we apparently leave a little bit of time. We sleep for about 100 milliseconds. Basically, I think we're just awaiting primarily to make sure that the other systems can do some stuff. Seems reasonable so far. And then we check to see. We're basically like, hey, check on the channel for like a second, and if we should be able at that point see that like nothing came through. So like that's what we were expecting, because there should be 2 packets and not 3. Okay, so let's just run this and see the failure. So, Rust compiling, lovely. Okay, so we see a bunch of debug output. I'm not going to worry about that too much. That's spinning. Because I have my stuff turned on. Okay, result unwrap error. Where does it fail? Let's bring that across. Local rate limit 68. Okay, so it unwraps here. Okay, so what's that telling me is that after 5 seconds, get rid of project. We don't really need that. After 5 seconds, this is failing, and I'm getting yeah. Otherwise, it's the timeout here is failing. It's giving me an elapsed. It's saying like, nope, you suck. So what I'm actually gonna do is do an expect. I'm gonna switch that out. Excuse me. And then I'm gonna format's the, it is format. Oh my god, I'm forgetting how to Rust string format. Bear with me. Yeah, format, beautiful. Okay, format, expecting packets, counter. We'll call this just I. So that if it's like, because I have this theory. That why is that complaining? Mismatch types found string. Boop, 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 boop. Format, print strings. Yeah, convert to a string. So I have this theory, maybe, that I did some work and changed this. I did some work to change this channel into a watch channel, and I think. No, see, the value should have changed. Okay, tell you what, let's run it again. I want to see what happens. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining me today. All right. It's going to wait about 5 seconds. Whee! Counter is 1. Huh, interesting. All right, so I feel like I'm doing something silly, but I'm triple checking this. Triple checking that 0 is first, and that is the value we get. Because sometimes you never can be quite sure. All right. Checking for coming back 0. That all works. And then we come down here. Checking for packet coming back I is 1. And it fails. Okay. So I'm just going to have a look through some of the logging we have. We have a lot of logging, which is fun. We start the proxy. Everything's set up, waiting for packets. Excellent. Check if we can come back 0. We received a packet. Excuse me. Contents hello. We can see that coming through. Just have a drink of water, so I stop question. What does the question mark before the I do? If I take that out, and in fact, it might actually work. That's a good question. Basically, if you do the question mark first, it does the display trait output for that value. So I kind of just have a habit of doing the question mark I. So it'll say, so you can see here it says I is 0. Like, so if it's just I here, looks like it actually isn't complaining because it's probably got a trait that'll just display straight out because it's a simple value. But I have the habit of writing question mark in front of it. If it's like something like a socket or like an IP address or something like that, it'll spit out the display value for it, but the same name. That's what it is. But apparently, actually, that's exactly the same thing. All right, so we received hello. Lovely. We get it once. We get it twice. Sending packet received. Packet received. Sending packet hello. So it does seem to be doing all the right things. Now, waiting test packet. Checking for packet coming back. Now, it does seem right here. Echo packet received is what I just want to see if it's coming through. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Echo packet received. I see that twice, but not 3 times, which that's correct. That's correct. So that's actually, so I have this. Okay, so I have this weird feeling because I did a bunch of work to change some of this stuff. But I swear I've done this before where I've sent the packet through twice. It's here I'm asking about whether it's changed. And the value here hasn't changed. I'm sending through hello twice, but I just I have this weird feeling. Okay, so I look at this received channel. I changed this out to using a watch. And what did it used to be? So let me just compare it. Compare with branch main. Open socket receive packet. Here we go. Open socket receive multiple packets. It used to just be a regular MPSC. So like, I switched it out to a watch because I was triggering on this retry stuff, and I needed to be able to clone. It. And this makes me feel that that was bad. Now here's the issue. All right, so I might have to go back and fix all that up. But let's just run a test, which is I have this idea where let me just add the number to the where are we? Not that one. Test rate limit. Beautiful. I'm gonna add whichever number I have here to. Right, I'm gonna do that. And now it's gonna complain. It's okay. Can I? Yeah, can I just bytes it? I can. Beautiful. So we're gonna add it that way, and then I'm gonna say like expected. Same thing, basically. So let's just grab that. All right. I could just do it that way. Yeah, I could also inline it. That's fine. Oh. Missed that there. Beautiful. So that way there's a new value that comes through each time. So it should be unique. Yeah, unused import. That's fine. I don't actually need that for anything. Nope, still failed. Hello 0, hello 1. That's interesting. I suppose they could come back out of order. 0 to 2, 0 to 3. I mean, I am sending these 3 packets. There's no guarantee that they're going to come back in the same order. So, you know what? I'm just going to cheat. Just make sure that I get 2 packets. That's all I care about at this point. And then we'll worry about the values in a minute because I think I'm going to have to redo all this stuff anyway. Nice jump on a few minutes. Good to see you, Time. Yeah, thank you, MV Label. Oh, love it. Yeah, it was good to see you online as well. Thank you for joining me. Go to sleep. Enjoy. All right, so running. Nah, it's going to fail again. Huh. Same thing. Counter equals 1 elapsed. What about something? I've broken something. And what's weird is, okay, echo packet received. We get that twice. That happens twice. Hello 0, hello 1. And run echo server with tap. Okay, open socket and receive socket here. Is there any debugging in here? Waiting test packet, received test packet here, this one. Okay, we receive that packet. Okay, so we've received that packet twice. Hello 0, hello 1. Like that's test utils that's coming through. So the data is coming through as it should. Packet tx, send. Packet tx is the sender string. Okay, I am confused. It seems like it's working correctly. I am doing a dumb somewhere. All right. I just don't like this name, so I'm just going to change it because why not? It doesn't change anything, but just makes me feel better. We get the first packet, but we do not get the second packet. And what's weird is that whatchamacallit? I wonder if Watch doesn't have a buffer? Thank you for joining from India. I appreciate you. Wild Loops, thank you for joining as well. All right, so okay, I have another idea. I want to try this real quick. Tracing debug. String. And then we're gonna call it receive test packet and like pushed test packet. Not the best wording, but whatever. Oh, that's gonna complain. I didn't semicolon it. Yeah, I know. Like literally just did that. All right. Run that again. Yeah, I actually didn't look to see if we were going to get an error. Maybe there was an error. Oh, really? You didn't let me doing that? What do you... Fine, I'm just going to say push test packet. In theory, should see that twice. I should actually check to see if there's an if for whatever reason I did this silly. Can I do that? Will that complain? Pretty cool how the actual errors there. It shows you exactly what it should be. I've always really enjoyed that about Rust. No, yeah, borrowing a move value string. Yeah. It's fine. I actually don't need it. All right, let's try this. Compiling. Yeah, I know. I'd like to get rid of that. One problem at a time. There we go. And I feel like the answer might be so it does say push test packet twice. Okay, that's weird. All right. Hold that thought. I have another idea. I just want to tracing debug. Where are we? I'm gonna grab the value. I want to see if the value. So the way the watch handler is meant to work is like if the value gets changed, then you can watch for what the last value is. But what I think it's not doing is keeping the old values. And I think I need to basically rewrite how this entire function works to not use a watch anymore, which I've actually had a feeling was coming anyway, because I need to undo all that stuff. That's going to break all kinds of things, and we can do that for a while. That's going to be fun. But let's see. Let's grab the value out of it. We're going to value packet watched. Call it that. That is not like the best wordage I could ever write, but it will do the job. Excuse me. Alrighty. What? Oh, that's because it should be RX, because I changed it, because I'm fun like that. Beautiful. What that does is RX bar basically gets the... Why are you complaining? Oh, value. See, that's why I need the question mark, as was asked earlier. Okay. If you have questions about Rust or anything that I'm doing here, please feel free to drop that in chat. I am a half decent Rust programmer. Oh, come on. Fine, I'll be super lazy. That's all I really care about. I don't need the value for anything. It doesn't have size, doesn't compile time. Oh god, you suck. Fine. Try that. It's gonna be really annoying. Expect mute error count. Oh my god, nope. Alright, fine. That should be fine. Why won't you let me do it? That might work. Let's see how we go. Borrow checkers. Yay! Okay, why are you complaining about this? Why are you complaining about this? Remove occurs because borrow has type string, which doesn't implement the copy trait. Consider borrowing here and RX borrow. All right, I will do what the compiler tells me to do. Let's give that a shot. See how that goes. Oh, seems happy with it. Lovely, love it. Okay, packet watched. That'll do the job. Packet watched is hello 1. And And that only comes back first. But we should get a hello 0, shouldn't we? Right? We get hello 1. Because it only keeps the last value. That's why. Because I'm not very smart. This is the inherent problem. Right? We sent through hello 0 and hello 1. But it only keeps the last value. That's what watch does. That's literally how watch works. So I'm asking it to do something it doesn't do. So yeah, we're going to have to fix all this. Joy. All right. In which case, yeah, this is this is a function that touches lots of things. It's fine though. It's actually fine and something I probably was going to have to do anyway. So we're going to do it together. Sounds like fun. Fun. All right. Let me bring up the Tokyo docs though. MSPC, I think I want to say, or MPSE. That's the one. Go to latest version. Multi-producer single consumer queue for sending values between asynchronous tasks. Dope. All right. Make all that bigger so people can read. Beautiful. Yep. Cool. The nice thing here is that I'm pretty sure what I can do is I can do git. I did all this stuff for a bunch of different reasons. And I can basically just put it back the way it was. Let me scroll down. Nope, not that one. This one. All right. Some of this is the same. Some of this is going to be different. Okay. So we're going to move that back to MPC. Yeah, give me that with the nice buffer on it. So that's lovely. Tokyo sync, please. So that's basically making sure that there's room for 10 things to go in, which I think is a good number. That all becomes the same. TX, send. That all looks pretty good, actually. Do people like TX underscore first or TX underscore TX afterwards? How do people feel about that? I've been going backwards and forwards in my head on that one. Okay, so that looks fine. Oh, why are you grumpy? Send string. Oh, it's got no weight on it. That all looks like it should be happy now. This is going to break all kinds of goodies. Okay, that looks pretty happy in here. Yeah, there's a couple of things down here that I think are just IntelliJ complaining. Yeah, I think so. All right. Yeah, it's just being this here. This default doesn't like it. It just doesn't understand it. That's okay. Okay. All right. Now we get to find out all the things that are broken. Let me just write a note in here as well. There was a couple of things. All right, so we actually have two kind of receiver things. Like here, the open socket receive packet. This also takes a watch. We're gonna get rid of that too. So I'm gonna make it just a note for myself. Move this back to MSPC rather than watch. If people haven't followed me on Twitch, which I haven't actually Twitch streamed in a really long time, I have this habit of this. I have this thing in my code where I write tiksu rather than to do, and people are like, "What? That's misspelled." If you notice code bases, you always have to dos through them. So if I want to make a note for something that I want to do before I finish all my work, I write tiksu and I have a filter on it to look exactly the same, but then I know it's mine and that like I need to do something about it. Also, people tend to see it like when I'm doing code reviews and stuff, or then doing code reviews and stuff. And so, yeah, it's kind of obvious. That also means that if I bring up my to-do project, I have it set up. You can't see it very well. I have it as a filter. And you can see I have a bunch of tiksus in here. That's a bit small. You probably can't read that. But then I can just work my way through them, and I sort of get to where I need to go. All right. Now I'm going to do a fun thing. So I actually really, I've started using IntelliJ's started using IntelliJ's shell integration recently for a variety of reasons. Just actually because I had to. It's the way I was developing, and it's really cool because it understands line numbers and it also can do things like this. So if I want to run cargo clippy tests, I hit Control Enter, and rather than running it inside the terminal, it runs it in the runner, which means that I get some really neat things out of that, which is instead of just getting like, for example, if I run cargo clippy, it checks everything and makes sure everything compiles and like what fails and like all this kind of stuff. But if I run it as an IntelliJ thing, you see I get this nice like tree drop down view, so I can actually see everything that's happening. And like that means if I'm like, oh, which one do I want to take on first? Well, I'm gonna take on. Well, actually, I'm gonna take on local rate limit because it's broken. Um, but here we go. Boom. Right. Then I can actually start to dig through this stuff and actually get stuck into it, which is I was like, that is cool. All right. So you know what I'm gonna do actually here. Get pretty much this should go back the way it was. Compare with branch. I'm just gonna start main. Some of this has changed. That's fine. I don't mind that. I'm actually going to. Oh, actually, there's parts of this I want to keep. JetBrains does have some nifty features. It's really cool. I was always like, I'm just going to use my terminal because I'm so used to it. And I was like, I'm going to try using their tools. And actually, it's really cool. All right. So. All right. So I just want .receive. Okay. Okay. Actually, that's a bad idea. That's not the way I want to do it. All right. Let's. Value equal. Future will be rx.receive. Boop. Beautiful. So we go through, we get the value. So now it's going, tries to get the value out. And so now it can just shove stuff in to the channel. It doesn't have to be different. It'll just shove it into the new channel with the MSPC or MSCP or whatever it stands for. I can't remember. Not important. It will timeout will attempt to get the value, gives us back the value. Right, we expect a packet, which will give us back an option of a string. Then we unwrap it, which gives us the string because there should be a string in there. Then we can do that. We'll want to clean this up, but that in theory should work. I'm just going to add a note here. Might want to clean this up a little and move all the debug. Who thinks of these features? That is a good question. Okay, so that at least does that. Let's run that clippy tool again because we're gonna have to go through it all over again. Okay, here we go. This is fun. All of these might actually be fine. Just want to compare with branch. We'll call it main. Beautiful. Literally put it back the way it was. Lovely. Run. Oh, that's not what I want. Oh, interesting. Oops, that's not what I wanted either. Oh, doesn't matter. It'll give me the same results. That's going to complain that I can't compile things. I should just stop it because I'm lazy. Cargo clippy. Yeah, man. What? No. Oh, it's just like to be. Cargo clippy tests. Need to make sure you tell it that you have to check the tests because the tests is where all the things are. All right, I'm gonna scoot you across a little and pop you down. All right, capture.rs. You are complaining. All right, let's do a compare. One thing I did do while I was working my way through this is add all these timeouts and like that looks like it's fine, so we can get rid of that one. But this one, right? Oh no, there's a timeout in there. That looks like it should be okay, so I think I can put that back just the way it was. All right. So get rid of that one. .rs token router. Boop. Let's have a look. Let's compare that one as well. That is a fun thing with Rust. Like you touch one thing, and lots of other stuff comes along. All right, so while we're going through this, there's a good question in here. Okay, so any reason Quilkin was made in Rust, or just seemed to fit the nice use case for it? Excellent question. I think actually it is a really nice use case. So we're processing like UDP packets like as fast as we possibly can. So there were sort of two things I wanted to consider there, or like a couple of fun things. One, I didn't want to like not having a garbage collector. Good. Especially with game servers, right? Like that consistency of effort over time, just making sure that, you know, there's no blips or weirdness or anything like that. In theory, probably could have written it in Go. But because the Go garbage collector is really fast, but I was also just very, very aware that if something ever went wrong, that doesn't have a timeout in it. All right, so let's do that by hand. If anything went wrong, or like there was a slowdown or anything like that, I knew at any point in time someone was just gonna be like, "No, garbage collector, definitely garbage collector," for whether or not it was true or not, right? Like, and so there was that. So no GC. Don't want a garbage collector, please. That's not what I want. And didn't want to write it in C++. Honestly, I'm just not a fan of that ecosystem as a whole. Rust is lovely in that like it has a really lovely packaging system. Like all the tools are there for all kinds of fun stuff. I think it would be really nice if cross compilation was a little bit easier. I need to dig into that some more. We've been having some fun with that, but like generally as a whole, like it's super nice. It's also just like because of the compiler and the borrow checker and all that kind of stuff, it's super hard to write code that just is actually going to fall over and like break stuff, and just die completely. Excuse me. So, and given that this is, you know, one of those things where you're like, well, yeah, I really don't want that to fall over at any point in time. No, I think we fixed this one. Yeah, we did. All right, cool. And like that's really important that it doesn't like just fall over or crash because of like a nil pointer or something like that. Like it's super hard to do that in Rust unless you try really, really hard. I'm doing compare branch. So it just, yeah, that just seemed like a really easy fit in terms of language. And it's been fun too. And it's also like, I'm not going to deny that. I like writing in Rust. Working with some extremely talented people over at Embark, who know this stuff way better than I do. Yeah, and so I've been learning lots of stuff too, which has been really, really fun. I have a feeling I changed this test. Let's have a look. Did I change this test? I think I did change this test. Yeah, I changed this whole test. All right. In which case, yeah, we'll do this by hand. Just a bit easier. Oops. I could inline it. I don't know. It seems weird. I did it in some other ones. Okay, XDS. Oof. What is that? That is a funky looking test. Let me compare this. I'm pretty sure I have not changed this since. Yeah, I just put it back the way it was. All right, run that again. Let's see if anything broke. Yeah, I think it's been a pretty good fit. Apparently there's still some stuff broken. Okay, cool. You know what? I'm just gonna close everything and we'll come back. All right. Oh, yeah. Git branch main, yada. Timeout result equals receive and borrow result receive. I would like a timeout on that though. That would make me happy. So I think what I can actually do instead is go result equals receive, delete that line, and that should be happy. String, that looks pretty good. Is it complaining? Is it complaining about something we actually care about? No, it is complaining. All right, cool. Yes, still no timeout. I want to have a timeout on these things. Not having a timeout on this things, why that is so important to me is because, yeah, it did write a lot of tests without timeouts, and it'll just hang. The test just hangs. And so it can be really hard to work out exactly where it's just hanging. And so you end up putting back in the timeouts anyway, whereas the timeout is like, oh, I failed after 5 seconds. And so it's actually not too bad. Sweet. Okay. Boop, 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 boo. Yeah, timeouts are really nice in tests. They are. Why in some places I did not write them in the first place? I do not know. I'm gonna blame me and not the other smart people I worked on. I'm gonna assume that it was entirely my fault. That's right. I know what that is. That should just be received. That's easy. Type annotations needed for integer. I'm going to come back to that one. Branch. Let's see if there's anything different here. We made some improvements. We called it inspected rather than value. That's actually kind of nice. Don't hate that. Probably could have done that in some other places. But everything else I'm going to keep the same. Oh, my dog is around. Lovely. All right, let's run Clippy again. See if we got somewhere. Oh, found some more things. Did I mention this touches like everywhere? Okay. So it looks pretty much the same. This is one thing that, like, yeah. And it's not, actually, it's not, I can't really blame Rust for it. If I was writing this in Go, it'd probably be fairly similar. Right, as soon as you touch some kind of typed function, yeah, that should just be receive. That's an easy one. The size value string cannot be determined. Oh, I don't think that needs to be that. Let me just compare that with main. I'm fairly sure that I do not need to deref it. I have a feeling that is something new. Result equals timeout. Yeah, that's better. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. What I will do, though, is in some here, is nest those use statements. Makes that a little prettier. Lovely. Blame the GC. Oh, yeah, that's why my tests are failing. Garbage collection. Use of expect followed by a function call. What are you complaining about? What's wrong with that? I mean, I can unwrap. It's fine. Okay, but I'm only getting a warning, which I'll probably end up getting rid of that whole thing because it's a bunch of debug that I don't need anyway. But let's run some tests, make sure I didn't break anything there. So I'm just gonna go cargo clippy. Start with unit tests. Oops. Cargo test lib. I could run this as a thing, but I actually like it. I like it here. Let's run the unit tests, make sure they work, and then we can go back through the integration tests and make sure that see if they work. We'll start with the local rate limit one first. Alrighty, that is a good start. Okay. Now, local rate limits. Excuse me. Right now we did turn off... Oh no, we turned off some stuff. Oh, I wonder if the format will fail. Because there's no real guarantee that those packets will come through in order, like 0, 1, 2, which is how we're looking for them. But apparently they do. Nice. I'm gonna get rid of that though because I don't really care. But that is looking much better. Okay, cool. Let's tidy this up. Probably put it very close back to where it was before. Yeah, I'm gonna compare against Git. Compare with branch main. I'll get rid of pretty print. We're just gonna run an echo server. Beautiful. I like the name RX. It makes me happy. This can all go back to the way it was. This, ooh. Yeah, so I want that timeout in there. That all looks good. All right, so that's not too bad, but I do want to keep this timeout. We'll just unwrap it. I'm surprised it won't let me expect, though. Some of these debug statements. That goes away. We're going to turn that into a message. Call it message, which I do in a few other places. No, I don't want it as B. I just need to do that. Just turn it to bytes for me, please. Thank you. Message to value. I could inline that. Do I want to inline that? Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Run that again. That's looking much better. That's all right. We'll get rid of that in a second. Yes. Brilliant. Okay. Let's clean this up. It goes away. Used import pretty print. Let's nest these use statements, please. Nest these use statements as well. Unused variable I. We don't need that either. Oh, did I get rid of it? I did that. I did import. That's my fault. Oh, did I get rid of that too? Oh, wow. I'm doing well today. All right. Tokyo timeout. That looks good. That looks good. All right. Cargo Clippy. Think. Yeah, Clippy is happy. Clippy is happy. All right, so let's actually run the. All right, actually, where are we? There we go. Let's commit this work because I think we're doing pretty good. Okay, local rate limit. Passing. This is all just work in progress stuff. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Switched. What's it called? Utils. Switch trips. I always do that. Back to what is it? MPSC. MPSC. Yep. This is all work in progress stuff, so that's fine. I just want to be like, yeah, I got this thing to work. It's awesome. All right, cargo test. Let's just run the whole thing. Let's run the full suite. Let's see what happens. The funny thing is, a lot of that work was putting stuff back the way it was before. Uh, but in theory, this should all work now. Did my IntelliJ just crash? You're kidding. That's really funny. Yep. Yep. 100% crashed. That's genuine funny. All right. So you know what? Let's do this instead. Cargo test. Let's just run it in. Let's just run it. Run it in. Run it in a whatchamacallit. Run it in a terminal. Stuff it. I wonder if I actually OOM'd my IntelliJ stuff. I have a strong feeling that's what happened. Should we find out? Maybe we'll find out. I think that'd be kind of funny. Okay, that's looking good. That's looking good. That's looking good. Something's taking a little while. Nope, nope, we're good. Well, our benches look good. Been working on this for... Actually, I went on vacation for like 3 weeks, but... been working on this for a number of weeks. Whoa! Everything passed. Oh, that is cool. Where's the JetBrains logs? I need to know if that died or not. I feel like it's in here. 22.1. There we go. That looks about right. Actually, I don't even know where the logs are. Anyway, that is a whole other fun problem for another day. Cool. That is passing. That is awesome. That's fantastic. How are we doing for time? Right up at about an hour. All right. We definitely push that up. Beautiful. Beautiful. Do I fire things back up again? All right. Yeah, let's do it. This is going to take a second. I'm just firing up IntelliJ. It is going to hang my screen for a bit. Just give you a heads up. I don't know what I did to it. That was fun. Is it complaining about something? Nothing really. All right, that's not very exciting. All right, I'm going to open up Quilkin. It is going to absolutely pick my CPU for a sec. Just watching the CPU go up. There it goes. So my Twitch stream hasn't crashed yet. I was actually expecting my Twitch stream to just kind of die at some point. Is it going to die? Is it going to die? Is it going to die? I expect it'll die. Huh? Hasn't died? Didn't die? IntelliJ's still hanging. That's fine. I'll come back in a second. Beautiful. All right, while that's going on, just having a quick look. Make sure that nobody's hassling me for anything that I actually need. Because, you know, work stuff. So far, so good. Everything seems pretty good. All right, cool. Are we working yet? Nope. Nope. IntelliJ's doing its thing. Oh my god. It does usually take a second or two. This is actually quite bad. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. What on earth is this thing doing? I have this weird idea. I think I might know what it is, but while it's doing that, yeah, I actually increased the memory usage on this. Here we go. We're back. Alrighty. How is my memory usage? Oh, actually, you know what? I should have looked. I should have looked to see if my memory dropped, but it's got about 4 gig of memory. Actually, you can see the memory usage down the bottom right-hand corner. You don't see it very well, but it's itty bitty in that corner. We're not using a lot of it, but we can keep an eye on that over time. Okay. We are back. Let me pull up test utils. All right. Since I've done that, I'm gonna do this other one, which will also be lots of fun. But that's all right too. So we've got this other handy test util function that is also using a watch that we don't need anymore because I worked out one of those. I had this bug in it. I thought if I just retried stuff, I needed to do that so that I could retry stuff, and it was not the answer. It was not the answer at all. So since we're here, let's make this change as well. And I think I'm just having a look at what to-do items I have floating around here. Those are the... just having a quick look through some of the stuff that I have in my to-do. I have a bunch in here. It's like 3 or 4, but this is, I think, one of the only other big ones, and maybe some other fun tweaks that I'd like to run. But I also want to run some benchmarks at the same time. I'm probably not going to run benchmarks while Twitch streaming because that's boring and they take like minutes. But I can get this one fixed, so let's do that, and then yeah, that sounds like fun. I think that'll probably be the last thing we do today. But yes, I will also reiterate it. Drop some questions in chat. Ask some questions. Things you want to know. What's the deal with what's going on? This is the Project Quilkin. If you haven't been here before, there's some details down on my Twitch stream below. Apparently the text size here is fine, which is good. That's good to know. I'll actually make a note of that because this is the first time I'm streaming from this particular machine. All right, here. Excuse me. Oh, I don't have any water left. Hold on, I'm going to take a cough drop. I have stupid chronic illnesses, and they suck. 1 second. I know this is going to sound a little funny, but you all will survive. I believe in you. Okay, so we'll do a compare with main. And, oh, actually, what did this used to be? This used to be a one-shot. Nice! So, again, if you're not familiar with Tokio, or maybe even channels, if you want to talk about channels in general, channels are just like thread-safe ways of pushing data into queues, for lack of a better term. And inside sync, Tokio has a few different ways. They call it message passing, all that kind of good stuff. Strangely enough, a one-shot channel is a channel for supporting sending single value. This way you know there's only ever going to be one value. Super nice. And that's what we used previously, so let's turn that back on. If you're at all interested about why I made this change, to do some retry stuff, it needed to be, to do retries, I needed to be able to move and clone the thing that was receiving. And the receiver on a watch is clonable. So that made that much easier. A receiver on an MPSC or a one-shot is not clonable. You can only have one of them because the contract is essentially what it is and how it works. So I changed it. Let's go and import that. Tokyo Sync. Important. And then here we go. That doesn't change. That changes to a string with no value. Anything else that changes? I have some debug in here. I might leave it. Don't hate it. Don't hate it at all, actually. All right, let's get rid of that. That is looking pretty good. All right, so we're gonna do what we did before. We'll keep an eye on the memory this time too. Hopefully it doesn't crash again. Cargo, clippy, test, spam. And running. Let's go. Not sure why I'm wearing headphones. There's nothing here that actually makes sound. Okay. Let's go. All right, so we got some fun stuff. Boom, died. Okay, why are you complaining? You are complaining because it doesn't change. Now, remind me. Get, compare with branch. What is the... Pop that down. Not that. That's other changes I made. Oh, we just do an await. Oh, that's right. So this is, I actually think this is kind of cool. That we're going to keep it. So this literally just becomes packet RX and packet RX. So this is a one shot. It's a channel that can only receive one thing. So the receiver that it has is just a future. So future is the thing you can await. So all you need to do is be like, hey, I'm just going to await for this. This is cool. The only thing we will need to do is say let value equal, actually, value or expected. I think I like expected. No, value, because the first value is what's expected. That's not expected. This is what the value is. Yeah, that makes more sense. So actually, as a complete aside, I have an expect here and then an unwrap, and it's not complaining about that. Why is that? I mean, I'm not complaining about it's not complaining, but that's a lot of it seems inconsistent. Let's inline this. It looks prettier. Okay. That looks better. I have a strong feeling there's going to be more. There is! How very exciting. Thankfully, this is not tricky to fix up. It's just a lot of text changing. Nothing too crazy, thankfully. Nothing too... Okay, let's grab that timeout. Get rid of that. Drop that here. Oh, that's a bit more interesting. Here we're calling it result. That's fun. If anyone who's watching, actually, I think everyone in the students is asleep, but if anyone's watching who is going to code review any of this stuff, let me know if you care about this naming, whether it should be result or value or something consistent all the way through. I'm sure you will when you actually look at my code, but yeah, I think that'd be a good thing to know whether anyone actually cares about it or not. Oops, two of those. Oh, I think I left one behind when I was going through this. Did I miss one? No, it really doesn't like that default thing. All right, I think I got everything. If not, it will complain again. Put that back. Yep, that's fine. It only needs to see if there's actual value there. There's a lot of replication here. I think I actually have a note to merge all this together. Echo server. Boop, boop. I actually have tests there too. Oh, that's silly. That should be better. All right, run that again. Well, Lip, you'll code review it. Thank you. Excellent. Appreciate that. Gotta have good people review your code. That stuff's important. Mo method name changed. All right. Yeah, I thought I missed one somewhere in here, and I did. All right. Let's see if that's everything. I feel like it's everything. Yep. Ooh. All right. It's not everything. Totally lied. All right. Let's clean up some of this stuff. All right, so you don't need to be mutable. I'm willing to bet that you don't need to be mutable either. Yep, that was right. All right, that's a good start. A lot of stuff that doesn't need to be mutable. See, this is like a nice thing about Rust 2, right? Like, as a choice. The compiler telling you, hey, this data doesn't change, so you don't need to worry about it as much. Like, that's just straight lovely. Okay, mismatched types. What are you complaining about? Oh, that's a one shot. Before I do that, I'm fairly sure that's what it used to be, but I'm going to compare it first. That used to be what they called receiver. What? Did you just have receiver one shot? Yeah. See, I don't like that. That's one thing I've sort of shied away from these days. When using channels, I prefer to specify what the channel is, just because it has so many different types of channels in Tokio that it can be really hard to just be like, oh, that's a receiver. A receiver for what? I don't know. Is it a one shot? Is it a watch? Is it a broadcast? I don't know. So having that change actually just feels generally like better. Is that actually different? Mute T, let receive equals test. Something seems wrong here. But I think we're about to find out. Okay. It's alright. I'm going to run that again. I have a feeling there's still some changes that are going to come through. Doesn't always get everything first in one go. Okay, yeah. Alright. Sync watch. No more! Easy. Actually, since I'm here, let's nest some use statements. Make that a little prettier. Optimize our imports. Even better. No, method name changed. That's because it doesn't exist. Boom. Bow! Where are we here? Changed. Okay. That is fine. I believe that is correct anyway. Actually, let's actually compare with branch main. All right, scrolling. Let's make that the same. Then there's just no change at all, which also makes me happy. Receive test. Oh, this has got a mutable on it, but I don't think we're gonna need it. All of that goes back the way it was. That's got a timeout on it already. That was the difference. I couldn't see this mute here, but I think that all goes back to the way it was, and I would like to have it be the same, except for that one shot. That just annoys me, so I'm going to keep that. I think I'm going to keep that. Maybe I won't keep that. Maybe when I actually start pulling this apart as PRs, I won't keep that because it's just an extra change that somebody actually has to look at. But we'll see. All right, let's run again. I know. Hey, beautiful. B test utils. I just want to run this test actually more than anything else, but we'll run all our tests again. Memory usage looks fine. Only 49 out of like 4 gig. So that seems okay. Yeah, I think I just crashed IntelliJ. I did the good thing. I did an impressive thing. What are they going to say? There is a way of show login files. There we go. Oof. to drop that in another spot in case I want to pull it up again. In case it shows up. Okay. That looks good. All right, let's run some tests. Cargo test. Let's just run all of it. Let's just do it. Live on the edge. I think it should be fine. I think so. Building. CPU is doing okay. So this is also like, this is the first time I think I'm actually streaming with this rig that I built. It's like an old gaming PC too. I was like, it's way better than my usual work machine. Also a little bit more private as well. It also has a proper NVIDIA card in it and that kind of stuff too. It's running a Linux machine, but I feel like this is a way better streaming experience than I had on that old machine. So I'm actually really happy. I can probably do a better job of cleaning up the size of some of the fonts here on IntelliJ, but we can do that. That's not too hard. I can play with that some more at a later date. But I think we're doing okay. So far, everything seems to be testing. Oh, we're running our docs test, which should be fine. If they break, I'd be very surprised. Brilliant. All right. Moved all watch receivers over to one shot. Fantastic. Okay, tell you what. On that note, what I might do is actually leave you there. That was a good amount of work, and I'm actually pretty happy about that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this, you know what? I'm gonna try doing this some more. I am really enjoying this again. It's always lovely doing this kind of work and streaming it. So I'm gonna try and do this at least once a week, if not maybe a little more. We'll see how we go. Probably once a week is a good possible maintainable streaming scenario. So if you're not already following me on Twitch, please follow me on Twitch or just drop in on Twitter. Either or will give you notifications saying like, hey, I'm streaming now, because I have absolutely no set schedule whatsoever. And my life is not really conducive to that, unfortunately. But I hope you had enjoyed that. Those are the two great places. The recording will go up on YouTube, and I'll throw some pretty text on it and stuff. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed. If you're interested in Quilkin, check out the GitHub repository, follow it, check what that's doing. Follow my YouTube videos and the Twitch stuff here, and just hacking on all the open source gaming stuff. All right, wonderful. Well, thank you very much, and see you later.